Bonjour tout le monde. Hello everyone and happy International Women's Day. I'm Mairead Lavery, the President and CEO of Export Development Canada, and I'm joined by my colleague Laurie Kerr, the CEO of FinDev Canada. Before we get started, we'd like to begin by acknowledging that the land on which we gather is the traditional unceded territory of the Algonquin Anishinaabe people and the Mohawk, a place which has long served as a site of meeting and exchange among nations. Laurie and I are pleased to take this moment to celebrate International Women's Day and talk a little bit about the women who have inspired us and the way that inspiration has had an impact on us still today. So, hi Laurie, happy International Women's Day.
And happy International Women's Day to you, Mairead. It's really great to see you.
Yeah, you as well. So, Laurie, we're going to keep this like short and sweet and nippy. So, I've got a few questions. I would like to kick off with really reflecting on one of the themes of International Women's Day, which is women inspiring women. So, tell us about a woman who really inspired you in the past and what impact has that person had on your goals and your career?
Thanks so much, Mairead. Well, I have to say that it really doesn't take me long to think about the woman who has most inspired me in my career. I've been really fortunate to have known many inspiring women throughout the years, but for me, I have to say Rachel Kyte is the most inspirational woman I've known. If you don't know, Rachel was the World Bank Group Vice President and Special Envoy for Climate Change leading the run-up to the Paris Agreement in 2015. She was previously World Bank VP for Sustainable Development and was also a VP at the IFC for ESG and Business Advisory. I grew up in the multilateral development bank community, and so I knew of Rachel for a very, very long time. But I first met her personally when she was the CEO and special representative of the United Nations Secretary General for Sustainable Energy for All, after she had left the World Bank. Rachel is absolutely incredible. She is visibly passionate about development and climate change, and the way she speaks truth will silence any room, whether high-ranking officials or you just in a room with her. Her passion, her honesty, and her desire to affect real change and impact has inspired me in innumerable ways. I would add that Rachel is currently the Dean of the Fletcher School at Tufts University, the first woman dean of the school, I might add. So a very inspirational person all the way around. But let me turn the question back to you, Mairead. Who's the woman or the women who've provided you with inspiration and influenced your goals and career?
Well, Laurie, you picked a great one to kick us off with Rachel Kyte. I had the opportunity to meet her with you at COP26, and I have to say she was pretty direct to me around what's happening at EDC with respect to the environment. But what a great source of information and knowledge. So a great one for you to choose. I'm going to go in a little bit of a different direction, which just sort of shows you how different it can be depending on where you grew up or where you started your career. And I actually, when I was thinking about this, said, I don't know who I would pick. And the first woman that I really wanted to reflect upon was Sheila Fraser. And Sheila used to be one of the Auditor General of Canada. And I remember when I emigrated to Canada in 2000, seeing her on TV presenting her audit reports. And, you know, as usual, there was a few contentious audit reports. And I just was so impressed that this was a woman at the country level, like kicking ass on like some serious issues for the country. And I was like, wow, I'm super impressed with that. And as you know, Laurie, my background is in auditing and accounting. So for me, this was like, wow, the pinnacle of being an auditor was actually to get to an auditor general role. And in Canada, it was a woman. So I think for me, that was the first woman that I actually I actually would reflect upon and was quite inspirational. And I had the great opportunity then to meet her on the boards of some companies I was working on thereafter. And that was a great moment when you actually got to meet the woman behind all the controversy that existed at that point in time. So Laura, you've mentioned Rachel, I've mentioned Sheila, and Rachel, of course, has so much experience in the multilateral world of which you are still part of. So maybe link that to FinDev Canada. You've had this inspiration, you've been in this space for a little bit of time. Tell us how you, as the first female CEO at FinDev Canada, is carrying on that work of inspiring women and including it in your business.
Excellent. So I'll talk about this in two ways. So first, as a development finance institution, FinDev Canada supports development through the private sector, and we lead with impact. We have 3 impact goals, in addition to market development and climate action, which are very relevant. We also hold women's economic empowerment and gender equality as a key impact goal. So that's part of our DNA. We're a gender lens investor. We apply a gender lens to every investment, looking for ways and supporting our clients and partners on their gender equality journey. Again, we apply a gender lens to 100% of investments, not only because we believe it's the right thing to do, but because of the tangible and proven benefits to communities and businesses' bottom lines. It's the right thing and the good thing to do. At FinDev Canada, we're helping to support thousands of quality jobs for women and women-owned MSMEs in our regions through our investments. 2/3 of our investments qualify for the 2X Challenge, and that's an initiative that mobilizes capital towards investments that actively and intentionally empower women as entrepreneurs, as leaders in the workplace, workers, and consumers of products and services that enhance their economic participation. We also actively participate in a series of strategic global initiatives to continue to promote gender lens investing among different levels and types of investors, like the 2X Collaborative, Gender Smart Investing, etc. So as an organization, again, we really embody gender lens investing and holding women's economic empowerment and gender equality as our key impactful goal. But beyond investments, FinDev Canada actually walks the talk. And I'm so proud to be the first woman CEO of FinDev Canada. And I'm also really proud that we have a gender balance board of directors, a gender balance advisory council, as well as within the FinDev Canada leadership and across the whole FinDev Canada team. So again, we're really walking the talk and doing great things on the gender front at FinDev Canada. And what about you, Mairead? Can you tell us a little bit about how this is reflected in EDC?
Well, thanks for that, Laurie. And I think I'll pick up where you left off. One of the things that I'm most proud of is the actual gender balance across the levels of employment at EDC. I'm really proud of that, and particularly on our women in leadership statistics. So something that as the first female president and CEO, I'm particularly excited about. And even more than that, the engagement of the women at EDC. They've formed their own employee resource group. They take on issues of interest to the women across the organization and of course across FinDev Canada as well. So we're very fortunate that we have a really engaged community of women who are looking out to help other women in the organization. In terms of Canadian business, we've taken a similar approach, not necessarily calling it gender-based investing, but really how do we help our women exporters, women-owned and women-led exporting. And it has included actually providing equity support, but more than that across all of our product lines and making sure that our products are accessible to women. So I'm really excited that this has been our focus over the last number of years as we've really turned towards inclusive trade and trying to bring everyone into the Canadian economy. So, you know, today there are around 12,700 exporting businesses that are women owned. So if we can really help them, we're helping the Canadian economy overall. And I'm proud to say that since 2018, we've helped the businesses, the women-owned and women-led businesses, around the 1,900 of them generate more than $5.2 billion in trade for Canada. So something to be proud of. And you know what, Laurie, and I'm sure you understand that in your markets as well, there's a lot more that we can do. So we need to keep the focus going there. So with that, Laurie, our time is very short today. Maybe just a last quick hit to leave someone with. And, you know, this is always the tough question. You know, what's the one piece of advice you have for women that are striving to make their mark in the world, whether it's in leadership, their careers, business, or in fact in their personal life?
It's a really great question. So if I could think about a piece of advice, I guess I would say, be at the table. You deserve to be at the table. And when you're at the table, speak up. Don't be afraid to speak up. What about you,
Oh,
Mairead?
yeah, that's a great one. I was actually going with be yourself, and then it got me into like confidence and have the confidence. So I'm going to pick two words, Laurie: confidence and curiosity. Like women should be at the table. They'll do things differently at the table, and that's okay. So be confident in being yourself, and then always stay curious, always stay learning, and always always collaborate with others, and I think that will serve you good, man or woman, but will help you really go forward in the organization. Laurie, thanks for taking the time today. Really excited about what's going on at FinDev Canada, and again, happy International Women's Day.
Happy International Women's Day to you too as well.